folks. Welcome to a new week and a new vlog. I just got finished with a very nice walk. I probably look a little windswept. It was sorry, I'm just closing out of it. My watch was trying to tell me, are you done with your workout? It was really a workout, it was a walk. Also going to apologize in advance. I am sure that the audio on this is going to be abysmal because I don't have my mic with me, but I thought since I had a little bit of time, I would go ahead and pop on and do the intro for this week's vlog because I'm really not sure what the week's going to hold. It's another busy week. It seems like that's all I say every week when I get on here. It's another busy week. Things aren't going exactly the way I wanted to. It's another busy week. Probably next week the same way. It's just I saw a meme. I'm positive I won't ever be able to find the original creator of it. So if you happen to watch this, highly doubtful, but please comment that you're the original creator of it. It's something along the lines of teaching is just, I just need to get through this week for all of the school year. And it seems like this school year in particular, that's kind of how it's been so far. It's just, I was talking to my husband the other night, and this school year just seems, I love what I do. Like, don't get me wrong, I love my job and I love what I do, but it just seems like this year has been relentless, and I don't really know another word for it other than relentless. But anyway, that being said, I got to go on a little walk by myself without any social media or podcast or music, and it felt illegal. But I do have a 30-minute drive from home to work and back again. So since I have to be we get out of work at 4, and since I have to be back at work at 6, I could have gone home, driven the half hour to get home, spent a half hour at home, and then driven the other half hour back in order to be back at work by 5:30 so I could help with the event that we're having this evening. So I just decided to eat my guilty pleasure meal, and you can feel free to judge me. I judge me for eating it, but sometimes a girl just needs a chicken McNugget and a fry and a Diet Dr. Pepper. And I did need the calories today. I haven't eaten near enough today, but what else is new any day? For someone who absolutely loves to cook, you would think that I just eat all the time, but I don't. And I know it's not good for me. It's just as bad for me as doing the opposite of overeating. But anyway, I'm doing the best with what I got to work with most days. So I had that, and then I thought, instead of sitting in front of a computer screen for the next hour and a half, why don't I just drive 5 minutes away to one of the walking parks in town and go for a walk? And that's what I did. And like I said, it felt illegal, but it was probably the best thing I've done for my mind in months. So let's see, I don't have to be back to work to help set up with anything for another, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes. So I'm going to head that direction and write a little bit of curriculum when I get back there, and then do our event, and we'll see what we can get up to this weekend, guys. I'm not promising anything grand. I never do. But hopefully we can get up to something that's at least fun to watch this week. Hey folks, it is a new day. It's actually, several days since I was on here last. I don't remember the last day this last week I was on here, maybe Tuesday. It was parent teacher conference week. I think I mentioned that whenever I talked to you last, and it went well. And today, it's Friday, but I have off. It is a teacher work day, which essentially means that any teacher who is not like caught up with grading or curriculum writing or scope and sequencing or their pacing guides or whatever, they go into work. But if you are caught up or if you're ahead, you don't have to go into work. And I am ahead, and I made sure I would be ahead on purpose so I did not have to go in. It's nice to have this day to just kind of, I shouldn't say to just be, but I kind of am. This morning, we took Wayne and I, he is at work today, but he's got kind of an easy day. Students aren't on campus on Fridays. We're at the university that he works at. So, and I think, yeah, today's chili cook-off day. But anyway, excuse me, I'm going to measure this out real quick while I'm talking. This is my sourdough starter. I have named her Eunice. I've named her Eunice. I fed her this morning. I haven't done sourdough probably since the last time I vlogged it, honestly, because I just have not had the time. But anyway, I'm going to measure out 100 grams of my starter while I chat with you. So this morning we took Lily to the pumpkin patch. It was really cold and blustery this morning, and it still is. We actually weren't sure if we were going to be able to go to the pumpkin patch at all because they had been calling, the weathermen have been calling for a pretty big rain system to come through our neck of the woods today and into tomorrow and Sunday. Perfect. Anyway, but it's what, 1:30, 2 o'clock? Yeah. And it still hasn't started raining, so we'll see what happens, I guess. So I think I already mentioned I just put 100 grams of my starter in there, and I have my bowl on a scale, and each time I add something, I'm going to zero it out so I get my measurements mostly right. But anyway, so we didn't get to stay at the pumpkin patch for as long as I had hoped we were going to be able to, and one of Wayne's sisters and her little girl came with us, and that part was fun. Lily loves to spend time with her cousins, so that was fun. But anyway, we did that. She was obsessed with the pumpkins, loved it, had a ball. We have some hilarious pictures. I filmed exactly 0 of us being there, but it was nice. It was very nice. So I'm just gonna add 350 grams of water to my 100 grams of starter. And apparently I can't walk and chew gum at the same time right now, so hang on just a second. Here's 200. It'll do. I'm actually going to take a little bit of that water out. Sorry, I'm sure this is really, really fascinating to watch just me do this in silence. Let me grab a whisk. Maybe. I have got to get this better organized. Here we go. Because my stuff is just kind of hither and yon in this kitchen, especially when it comes to utensils. But anyway, pumpkin patch was fun, and then Wayne went back to work, and Lily and I had some lunch, and then I dropped Lily off with her bonus grandma and papa, and because they graciously offered to watch her today so I could come home and get some things done. So since I've been home, I've cleaned the kitchen and done the floors. They still need mopped, but it may just be something for another time, especially if the rain does end up coming, because there's no point. The dogs will be in and out then if it does end up raining and storming, especially if it's storming. They'll be in and out. These floors will get bad. There's no point. And really the only spot that needs mopped is around where Lily eats from her high chair. Wonder why that would be. Excuse me. But anyway, I'm just kind of getting some things taken care of that are not impossible, of course, but harder to do when you've got a toddler under your feet. So now I'm just putting in 500 grams of flour. And I think I've mentioned before, I film these videos on my phone. So, I've got hair in my mouth. This postpartum hair regrowth is for real. I'm sure you can probably see all my little fuzzies hanging around everywhere. But anyway, I film all these on my phone. And I also have all my recipes on my phone. So when I am filming something, I've got to write it down so I can actually remember. There's 166 and I need 500. Looks like it's going to be about 3 cups. Smidge more. But yeah, so it's been nice to be able to get a few little piddly things around the house done. Doing my bread. So again, because I know I kind of jumped all over the place. Oh, salt. I need salt. But it is 100 grams of starter, and I've got a ton left. So I don't know. I'll figure out something to do with it, or I'll just chuck it back in the fridge. 100 grams of starter, 350 grams of water, 500 grams of flour, 10 grams of salt. I'm just going to whisk this together, cover it, and let it sit for an hour, I think it is. And then every half hour. Okay, that's going to sound stupid. Let me back up. I'm going to cover this and let it sit until 3 o'clock. And then between 3 and 5, every half hour, I'm going to take this out and do the stretch and folds. But anyway, every half hour between 3 and 5, I will do my stretch and folds for this, which will work out just about perfect. I might miss one stretch and fold because I got to go get Lil around 5 because we are having, my husband and Lily and I are meeting his mom for supper tonight. So might miss one stretch and fold. Well, surely nobody will die. Surely it'll be fine. But anyway, gonna do that, and then I don't know what I'll do. I definitely need to get some laundry going. I had some going this morning, but it was mostly just so Lily could have something to wear. So anyway, I know, real riveting stuff right now. I'm just kind of yammering. But anyway, I'll probably do some laundry, get this done. This was a terrible idea to use this particular whisk. Oh well, the spring comes off. But anyway, I'm going to just mix this a little bit better with my hands. And I am going to dampen my hands a little bit so it's a little bit easier to work with. Cover it. And then for that hour, I don't know. Maybe I will, while laundry's going, maybe I'll read my book or go through Lily's clothes and make sure everything in her closet stuff that fits her, or might catch up on my YouTubers that I like to watch because I am way behind on my YouTube videos. So I might just do that and probably start putting this one together, actually, like editing it and at least doing the first part of it. Then I don't know, maybe tomorrow, especially if it is rainy, we can pull some of those tomatoes that I roasted towards the end of summer out and make tomato soup and some grilled cheese sandwiches with my bread that I get done in the morning. That sounds like a decent idea. Not the worst idea I've ever had anyway. So yeah, we'll get this done and kind of see where we end up. right, guys, it's time to bake. It is the next day, several hours into the next day. If you can hear that, Lily's having a late lunch at her high chair. She's not been feeling the best today. Yeah, hi. We're in the teething trenches, so yeah, if you know, you know. But she is finally feeling well enough to eat some lunch, so we're having some lunch. And anyway, I'm going to get my bread on the parchment paper, get it scored. I know. Get it in my heated Dutch oven into a 475 oven for a half hour covered. And then you'll knock the heat down to 425 and uncover it and bake for another 20 or so minutes. So let's go ahead and get that done. So full transparency, I just threw that bread in the oven, and I am not confident that, oh boy, we got in silverware drawer with our yogurty hands. Oh well. I'm not confident on how this loaf is going to turn out because I completely forgot about it last night while it was bulk fermenting. So it sat out for way longer than it should have. But I went ahead and chucked it. I went ahead and shaped it this morning and chucked it in the fridge to let it cold proof. We'll see what happens. I do not have high hopes, but hopefully it'll be something edible. All right, guys, my bread just came out of the oven. I have a sweater change. This is part of my Halloween costume. So if you know, you know who I'm going to be if this sweatshirt looks familiar to you. But I just got my bread out of the oven. It's not perfect, but I shouldn't say just. Oh my goodness. I shouldn't say just. It's been about an hour. Girlfriend, what is wrong? You want to say hey? Don't judge the way she looks or me. It's Saturday and we've been lazy. Come here. What's wrong? What's the matter? Look, it's us. No, there's nothing in that spoon. There's nothing in that spoon. I think I mentioned already teething trenches. So, yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, that's us. But I've got my bread, and then let's see if I can show you what I've got going on the stove. All right, so I've got a bag of those frozen roasted tomatoes that we did earlier this year in the summertime when I had an abundance. I've got a couple cups of chicken stock in there, a bulb of roasted garlic, and I'm just going to let that simmer and get nice and mushy and turn that into some tomato soup. And then we'll have tomato soup with grilled cheese with my bread that I made today for supper. That sounds really good on this really cold, dreary, rainy day. Hey folks, I just wanted to hop on real quick and wrap up this vlog. The supper was really good. I roasted a bulb of garlic, and then
the tomatoes and the chicken stock, and I ran all that through the food mill to make it smooth. And then I did salt, pepper, onion powder, a teeny weeny bit of baking soda to kind of cut the acid a little bit because it was a little strong. And then I did about a quarter to a half a cup of heavy cream. And I did some grilled cheese with the sourdough I made, and it was all delicious. And I just took a nice bath and felt guilty the entire time. I know, weird thing about me. If I do anything for myself, I feel like that's a problem, especially if it's not productive. So, anyway, I just took a bath and it was really nice. And did a little bit of extra skincare, which is why I am on here looking like uh, who done it and what for, but glazed. um, but anyway, I'll get off here and spend the evening with my little fam. It is absolutely pouring now, so hopefully that's good sleepy time weather for all of us. But I hope you enjoyed this vlog. I know it was kind of a mixed bag, not much going on. This coming week is Halloween and Lily's first birthday party, so we'll see what we can get up to then. In the meantime, I hope you guys have had a great weekend and a great week ahead of you. Bye.